Alright everybody, today we're doing a strut on a 2000 Pontiac Bonneville. Now this originated as a brake job, and I noticed that the strut was slightly cocked like this, but my sister's car and she didn't want to do the struts yet. So I finished up with the brakes, let it down, heard a bang, didn't think to come back here and check this. Heard some slight squealing, so I drove around a little while, waited for it to go away. It went away, figured, oh, the brakes started burning in. I drove maybe a mile or so, came back, and here you have it. I've gone ahead and undone a lot of this stuff preemptively, so that way you could just get an abbreviated view of what it took. What the store gave me is, I don't know where I set the box, the Gabriel hijackers, and they're air struts. There's a small line that goes in the back here, and we're going to be replacing that. Now down here there were two nuts that I loosened. They're two 10 millimeters. I'm going to undo those. Well, maybe not. I think I'm feeling it's going to be kind of difficult to get undone. So, two 12 millimeters there. And let me grab the light for you. And then back here, pull back all your carpeting. We've got two 13 millimeter nuts right there, and then you pull this guy off, and then on the top there it sits like this, which you might have to do before you pull that other metal bit off. There's another nut right in the center of that, and that one was, I think, 17. Yeah, that one was a 17. I'm going to undo that, and then we'll pull the strut out. I'm going to set the camera down, and I'll pull back in, cut back in so you guys can see it, because I'm not going to be able to keep the camera on my head and show you guys what I'm doing. Everyone, now where we had just left off, I had just gotten this out. What happened is I cut the air tube, and then I just pushed it down until I was able to pull it out. Now, I'll show you what I did with this in a minute, because it's going to need to be used to go onto this new one. Now, that's assuming your air compressor still works, and I'm assuming this air compressor still works. I don't know for sure. Now this, when it came, it was in a very compressed form, and I couldn't stretch it out enough because I needed it to be right around the same size to get to fit back into the car. And what I did is I just took this, hooked my air compressor to it, and very, very slowly, that's the key word there, very slowly, gave it some pressure to get it to extend outwards. Now that it's out, I can push it back in or pull it back out, and that's how I need it to. Now from there, what you want to do, come over to your car. Now hopefully if you still have your line there and you're intending on using the air compressor that came with the car, you cut it to where you have as much line as possible. Now when you buy these, they give you a couple strings of line that look like this, and what their intent is for you to do the two back shocks and hook them together in the middle of the car and hook this wire up with like a bicycle pump sort of thing, and from there you adjust the pressure manually. And you set it to whatever you want. This has an air compressor, and I'm assuming it still works, and I'd like to keep it that way. So what I did is I took the parts off of one of these, and keep in mind how the order they go. It's this nut, it's a piece of plastic, and these two washers, and I slid them on to this one over here. Same way. And it'll slide right into the air shock down here, and provided the air compressor still works, once it's put together. Now, this has a level sensor over here, so it won't go off right away. But once I put it all together and let it down, it should inflate itself. Now, if it doesn't, we'll have to hook it up via the bike pump way, which I'm not going to go into here because I don't know how to do it, so I don't want to tell you something wrong. Now, as for this, I can briefly go into how it's done here. You'll set it back on those two studs or bolts down there like you had before. On those two, and then up here you compress it a little bit, and then you put it in. Now I might be lucky enough to have it come up by itself. If not, I'll just shoot a little bit of air in it. Now once it's up in there, you bolt it up like we did last time, and the same thing down here. You tighten those down, and then just screw this guy in, and you'll be all set. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the film here, and I'll let you guys do that. If you have any questions, let me know. And if it doesn't work out where the air compressor doesn't work and I've got to put it in the bike pump, I'll put up another video showing you guys how to do that. Any questions, let me know below. Have a good one.